Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am a Jen who reads, and this is my first ever weekly reading vlog. So, full disclosure here, I sat down to edit this video and realized that I did not make an intro to the weekly reading vlog. So while this is at the beginning of the video, I'm actually recording this after I have recorded everything else in the video. That's not a bad thing though, because I can tell you that this is my very first time doing a weekly reading vlog, and in hindsight, looking back, this probably wasn't the greatest week to pick to do this. One, I wasn't reading the most exciting books to talk about. Two, I really didn't have much going on the week that I decided to do this weekly reading vlog, except for that I went out of town and visited Disney Springs. Other than that, it was just a lot of work. I did record in a few different places, and I was trying out a few different angles and stuff, so the sound might not always be the best, the angles might not always be the best, but I'm going to take this as a learning process. Right now, I'm sitting on the floor of my classroom recording this before I get ready to edit. I have some extra time before I have to pick kids up from school and go to baseball games. So anyways, I do hope that you like this. I do hope that you leave me comments and feedback, and I would like to do some more of these in the future if you liked it. I feel like the more I do this, the better I'll get at it. I feel like this one's gonna probably be pretty junky, but I'm gonna post it anyways because I can only improve and go up from here. So we're gonna start this video with a little bit of B-roll from my trip to Disney Springs. And on the way home from Disney Springs on the next day, we visited some libraries. Hi, happy Sunday. It is March 17th, so happy St. Patrick's Day. I taught preschool at church today, so I get to wear my cute little shirt. Unfortunately, I am not going to be eating any corned beef and cabbage, although that is one of my favorite things to eat. Instead, I will be cooking spaghetti for the family. So I just wanted to give you a quick little reading update. These are my dogs running around behind me. It's really nice out, so I'm sitting outside doing this update. The lake behind me, I hope the fountain is not too loud. So I am reading 3 books this week. I'm reading on audio. I am reading the last book in the American Royal series. I think it is called Rain. I just love this series. I cannot recommend it enough. However, I am only about 20 minutes into the audiobook, so I really don't have too much of an update, except for that the 3rd book left on quite a cliffhanger, and I had actually forgotten about it. So when I started listening to it in the car, I was shocked that I had forgot what happened, but I was happy to be able to get an update on the royal family. I am reading in person Elantris. So this is what I'm reading for the month of March. I have decided, because I want to really chew on this, I want to really understand it and enjoy it and love it, I'm only going to read 2 chapters a month. If I read a week. If I read 2 chapters a week, then I should be able to finish this before the end of March. I am a little behind. I'm about 10 chapters behind. I did not have enough, or I did not have as much time during spring break to read as I had thought that I was going to. But not this week, but next week, I have some testing. My students have some testing that they'll be doing, so I will have some free time during my work day to read. I forgot to say that this is the last day of spring break. This is the Sunday before spring break is over, so I go back to work tomorrow. After dinner, I do have some lesson plans that I need to look over, so yay! But it's almost summer break, and I love my job and I love my kids, so it's really not that bad. Back to Elantris. I love this book. There are 3 main point of views in this book. There is the king, well, there's the prince, and then there is the princess, and then there is this third guy. I think I've been pronouncing his name Rathan because there's an H at the beginning of his name, Rathan. He is some sort of ambassador or representation of a religion, and there are, from what I can understand, there are some different religions and they're politically being played against each other. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All of Rathan's point of views I don't understand, and I used so much brain power like trying to figure out what was going on with this religious system, and it fried my brain. So I just read them and smile and hope that by the end of the book it all makes sense. The other 2 point of views, though, I really, really like. It did take me a little while in this book to remember who everybody was. The names are not like anything that I've ever seen before. They have a lot of vowels that are next to each other in odd placements that I'm used to. And in fact, they mentioned that in the book. They said that there were some other people who were from somewhere else geographically. And the reason that they knew that they were from somewhere else was because they didn't have vowels next to each other in their name, or they didn't have as many vowels in their name. But I am currently, I'm chapter 24, so I'm 305 pages in, and I love it so far. And the other book that I picked up this week, and I'm hoping to finish this week, is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series, City of Ashes. I started this over the weekend when we were in Orlando. Unfortunately, we had some car trouble, and so we had to go get our car fixed, and everything worked out fine. It just, put an hour and a half bend in our day, but I got to start this book. And these are 2 really good books to read next to each other because they're both fantasy, but this one is so much easier to read. I love the way Cassandra Clare writes, at least now during the Mortal Instruments series. I do hope that as we read on and as I read her whole backlist and some of her newer stuff, that I can see a development in her writing. Right now, it's very basic. I do understand that it's young adult, so that's also probably why. But I like it because it just makes it easier to read, and it's a pretty quick read. And right now I'm on page 77. We do not know what's going on with Jace and Clary. I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. So there's some tension between them right now. And good old Simon. I love Simon. Unfortunately, I know what happens to Simon because this is not my first read through. I did start the Mortal Instruments series years ago, but I didn't finish. But I also don't remember what happened in most of it. So as I'm reading, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now. So, so far so good. Really hope to get more reading in tonight. I have some laundry to do, some lesson planning to do, and hopefully this week will be a more productive week than spring break was for reading. So anyways, let's go make some spaghetti.
Spoken
So it is a Monday reading update. So this was my first day back to work after spring break, and those days, the first couple of days back after breaks, are always pretty brutal. I was pretty exhausted all day. It is now 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm getting ready to open a monster because I just need that extra push to get me through the rest of the day. So I'm leaving work. I had a pretty good reading day actually at work. I have a lot of lesson planning to do for the coming last quarter. Specifically in my language arts class, I decided that the novel study that we're going to do this quarter is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. I love Neal Shusterman. Scythe is my favorite series by him, and also one of my favorite series of all time that I've ever read. And he has a series called the Unwind series. It's 4 books long, and it's basically about the aftermath of a civil war over women's reproductive rights. And it was decided, the outcome of this war was that abortions were going to be outlawed at any stage. You did not have the opportunity or the choice or whatever to have an abortion. But when your child turns 13, the technology and the science in this society has advanced far enough that they have a process called unwinding. And it's basically where they take a body apart, and it's like organ donation from a live donor. And the person doesn't actually die. Their soul just gets split up in between or amongst all of their parts that are donated. And so, of course, the rich people are wanting different colored eyes, and so they will get blue eyes or green eyes from somebody who has been unwound. So back to what I was saying earlier. Instead of having an abortion, you will have the choice, once your child turns 13, to have them unwound. So if you don't like your kid, or maybe they're just getting into a bunch of trouble, or whatever the reason is, you can send them away and have them unwound. So this story is about a group of teenagers who are fighting back against the process of unwinding. I'm really excited to do this with my class. I do not teach in a public school in Florida. I teach in a private school, so I don't have to follow all the rules, which is really nice. So this is going to give us a lot of space to talk about government control, women's reproductive rights, authority, the appropriate way to push back against authority, and so on and so forth. So I'm excited about that. But what I was starting to say was I have a lot of work to do planning that and getting everything on the calendar and just wrapping my brain around all of the different assignments. And I was just so tired. I was way too tired to do any of that today. So I did get some reading in. At work, I'm reading The School for Good and Evil. So I work in a middle school, so the books that I read while I'm at school or at work, I try to read middle grade books, and then I also have books I can recommend and talk to my students about. And then I did read about 3 chapters of that, and then I got a little tired of that, so I did pick up my City of Ashes. I left Elantris at home. So now I'm on my way to pick my daughter up. She is at a Dungeons and Dragons club after school, and I know that the lighting in here is horrible. I don't know what the sound is like. So I'm going to turn this off and check in with you later. Happy Thursday. Just a little reading update. This week has actually been pretty darn boring. I have not done a whole lot. I have not had very many interesting things to video. Yesterday, though, was pretty cool. I brought my reptiles to work. So there's also an elementary school across the street from my middle school. So I took them over there and did a little show over there. And that was exciting. Let's see, I got one of those eucalyptus things that you hang in your shower and it steams it all up and, like, I don't know, makes it feel good or smell good or breathe good. I'm really not sure what it does. I did hear that you were supposed to roll them with a rolling pin first to kind of like open it up a little bit. But it's very dry. It's like a lot drier and crinklier than I thought it was going to be. And I'm worried that if I roll it, it's just going to like fall apart. So if you have any experience with these, I would love to hear. Let's see, reading update. So Elantris, I have actually not read that in the last 2 days. So I'm pretty far behind where I need to be to finish it for the month of April. The only reason is because I've really been getting into City of Ashes, which is the second book in the Mortal Instrument series. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this book in this series, but I love it. I just eat it up, and it's all I want to read when I'm reading it. And it's such a fast read also. At this point, Clary and Jace believe that they are siblings, and I don't know what happens. I forget. So I'm really hoping that they're not siblings because I really like them together. But at this point, there's all that tension, like, are we brother and sister? Are we not? What's going on with our dad? So I'm really liking that. Next week, I do have a lot of free time at work, so I plan on catching up with Elantris then. And I found out that there's actually 2 people at my church who are reading Elantris, and they are in my Fable book club, and I didn't even know that it was them. They didn't tell me. I'm also making progress. I'm doing 2 chapters per school day on School for Good and Evil. Some chapters are slow and they kind of drag, but I'm liking it okay pretty, so far I'm liking it okay. And I do plan on watching the movie when I'm finished. I will wait until I'm finished with the end of this book to see if I'm going to continue the series at all. Looking ahead to next week, on Sunday is Palm Sunday, so I've been doing a lot of stuff, getting crafts and stuff ready for my preschoolers on Sunday. And oh, speaking of Palm Sunday, that reminds me of Easter. I have an Easter dress that I need to try on, so hold on. Okay, so this is the Easter dress that I got. I got it at Walmart. This is actually a size smaller than I usually get, but I think it's okay. What do you think? I'm a Walmart girly through and through. Some people are Target girlies. I love Walmart. So what do you think? The only thing about this dress is I don't have any shoes to go with it. And I only have one other option for an Easter dress, but I wear it every year. I think I've worn it like 3 years in a row because ever since Target and other places, but mostly Target, started doing the whole like farmhouse chic, I've had a really hard time finding Easter dresses. So I've just been wearing the same one every single year. But I do think I'm going to keep this one. I think it'll do the job. It's kind of a weird length. Whoops, can't turn the camera that way. Anyways, yeah, I think I'll keep this one. It's Friday. I'm finally out of work, so I'm looking forward to the weekend and wrapping up this video and editing it and getting it out. I have not done a weekly reading vlog like this before, so I am curious to see what it will look like when I'm all finished. Now I am sitting in my car at the beach because I have a couple of hours to kill before I have to pick kids up from school, and there's a nice breeze, so I'm going to get some reading done and maybe take a nap. So thank you for hanging out with me this week, and I will talk to you later. Happy reading.